literally.
Well,
our
because what is it?
whole
I have the same
relationship.
feeling because I throw away my act every year. I do a
Yes, so
new
do
hour
I.
and then I throw it away. I never
Well,
go
it's
back.
a-
All right,
as
fine.
soon
Can
as-
we get some real comedians? But I mean, you know, every year I get rid of, I don't know, 10 or 20%, and I add, and so it's every 5 years or 4 years. I don't really
Right.
keep track of it.
Right.
But I do feel like there are those core things. But you don't work like that. You like to create a show, and that's the show.
I like.
I am Bob Roth. This is Success Without Stress, to repeat that. And I'm here with Jerry Seinfeld. And yeah.
Two greatest TMs. First of all, they're all great. But the two greatest TMs, TM before exercise, for you exercisers out there, insane what it does for your exercise experience. And TM before stand-up, if you happen to be a professional stand-up comic or an aspiring stand-up comedian, stand-up comedy is an extremely exhausting as physical, mental activity. And to have that tool of doing TM before you do your set, you're going to be a different dude up there. You're just like, you know, just kind of, you're in that place in your mind that you want to be, you know, where in all things, you want to be relaxed. You want to have energy in all things, especially sports, but especially performing, because that's a great performance from anybody, whether it's a singer, an actor, a comedian, anything. It's got energy and it's relaxed and easy. You know, we don't want to see somebody, you know, stressed. You know, we want to see somebody confident and smooth. And most importantly, they seem to know what they're doing. You know, that's the first thing an audience wants to feel when someone gets up on a stage. Does this person know what they're doing?
Yeah.
Because if they do, then I can relax. And when you're trying to elicit laughter, they have to be relaxed. If they're worried about you, the laughs are harder to get. If they feel like, okay, he seems like he's okay, you know. So stand up before TM before stand up is gold. It's a golden thing to have. The ultimate. Plus, you're traveling and you're doing interviews, and it's the airport. Stand up is so tiring. So I recommend it highly for anyone, but for the stand up comedian, you know. See, now a guy like me, you know, again, 60 years old, really should be running out of gas at this point in my career. And because what you got to do when you're stand-up, you know, I was at Foxwoods this weekend. It's 4,000 people. I got to physically move these people. I got to move them, you know, with voice and physical gesture, facially, your expressions, your energy, your mental focus, the whole thing. I got to push this mass of meat. That's what it is. It's just a load of meat out there, you know? And you got to have energy. And I know a lot of guys, look, all the guys I started out with, they're all my age. And it does start to fall off, and they can't do it. They can't do it because it's a physical, stand-up is a physical act. Stand-up is, you know, stand-up is a physical challenge. It is a mental challenge, but equally physical. And when you're young, of course, it's a breeze because you're blessed with youth. You know, the ultimate weapon is youth in life. But then, you know, we all obviously lose that as we go. But this is the ultimate way to fight it off or to extend your vital period of your life as, you know, as long as you can.
Are there certain specific elements that occur in every single successful joke?
Yes. The specific element that occurs in every single successful joke is surprise. Surprise. A line of logic is going one way, and then it doesn't. I call it making nonsense. Go, that doesn't make any sense, but I get it. That's the words that people use to describe a joke. I got it. They say, I got it. Well, what did you get? I got from here to there, even though it doesn't, it doesn't need to make sense. We can talk about any joke you want. Night guy always screws morning guy, to go back to what we were talking about earlier. Well, what does that mean? I'm two people? I'm not two people. I'm one person. But for a split second, when I say that, because I'm going to title the two different yous, you'll buy it. And in that moment, you'll laugh. But then your brain you'll have the laugh, which is the goal. But then your brain will go, well, that's not really true. And then the laugh's over. There's no two people. I'm one body. So, but in that moment of surprise, you're going, hey, I get that. And it doesn't make sense, but it does. So that's every successful joke has that in it.
Unfortunately, we have to stop. We have gone over. Yeah.
Let's take a couple more questions.
All right.
Just a couple more.
We're going to do a couple more questions.
Barry Scher from Florida. Is life funny and you're just pointing out the humor? Or is it that life is boring and exhausting and you're just making it seem funny?
Life is funny and I'm just pointing it out. And you're perceiving it, but if you didn't perceive it, I couldn't get you to relate to it. Like, you've already perceived that night guy and morning guy is true, but you just never articulated it. I put it in a way that you go, oh, he described something that I'm aware of, but I never put words to. So I find things that you've thought of, but that you're aware of, but haven't really analyzed. And that's the whole act. That's the whole gig, is I'm exploring your mind. I know what you've experienced because we all experience the same things. Now, I don't know exactly, and that's why there's a lot of experimentation to find jokes. I gotta do 10 things before I find the one that makes you laugh, and then that's the one that stays in, the other 9 go. So stand-up is a very scientific and very exhaustive study of the human experience. But what you do find is that we all pretty much have the same things, but they don't all make you laugh. Everything I think I've ever written is funny, but it just doesn't make you laugh. So stand-up is, I put 500 things in the hopper, and 25 of them are going to work, and you're not going to hear about that other 475. People say, oh, everything you say is funny. No, I don't say the other things. In my profession, I was talking to these fellas here who do stand up. If you want to be funny, you've got to have energy. Energy sells jokes. All sales requires energy, but stand-up is a hard sell. I'm selling you something you don't even need, So to get that product that I want to get from you, which is that laugh, I've got to push you. I got to push you. So there's an actual aggression aspect to stand-up, where it's just like, I got to step into your space. And I do it with my voice and with it's a martial art. It's voice, it's action, it's gesture, and everything is synchronized to land on that point. You ever watch these karate guys? They hit that brick. It's a perfect arrow that hits that target, and it's perfect, it's a concentration of energy, and that's what elicits the laugh. And we don't really know exactly what's happening, but that technique is something every comedian masters. It's very similar to martial art.
Is it a last question, is it a blissful experience when you have that connection with the audience? When
Not
you've got
for me. No, it's no, it's more martial.
It is.
It's like it's you against me, and I'm gonna win. I don't always win, but I'm coming out there to win, because the odds are against it.
Yeah.
The odds are against it. You know, it's like making people laugh is like, it's not real. How's that going to happen? You know, it's kind of it's a magic act. So, and then I get into my sports analogies. Like baseball, you're trying to eliminate variables. You know, a hitter is trying to eliminate the variables, trying to guess what this pitcher's going to throw. If I guess right, my odds of getting a hit go up. If it's only 5 or 10%, I'm taking that. I need that. I'm going to take my best joke and I'm going to put it at the front of the set because that's the hardest laugh to get is the first one. And so I'm going, and the first thing I want to do is I want you to have confidence in me. Well, how am I going to do that? I'm going to take the joke that fails the least amount of time, and I'm going to put that at the front of the set. It's just it's scientific technique. Because if I get if the first thing I say gets a laugh, at that moment, 100% of everything I've said gets a laugh. Yeah. Now I've got your confidence. Okay? Now I've got your confidence. So that's going to make the second laugh much easier to get. So the second joke doesn't even have to be that good. Now I've gotten 2 laughs, but let's reverse it. Okay? I go out, my first joke is a joke that works 50% of the time. This is like, I always wanted to teach comedy and you can't teach it. But if I would, these are the things I would teach. We can't put that joke, 50% joke is that's not our leadoff hitter. Because we need, that first laugh is so important to establish the audience's confidence in you. Relaxation, coming out in a relaxed state, how you walk to the mic. They're watching that. They're feeling your tension level. So in the same thing in a fight between 2 boxers, the first guy to land a punch has a tremendous advantage. The other guy is immediately on the defensive, immediately vulnerable. Now I've got you down. So the way I look at a set is it's not relaxing. I want to get you down and I want to pummel you and then walk off and you never got a chance to hit me. Because comedy and show business is, look, either I win or you win. There's no truce. Same thing with television. I knew that TV series, look, either you're going to kill me or I'm going to kill you. And after 9 years, I was still killing that series, but that series would eventually have killed me. It would have either weakened and I would have ended up leaving the air in a position of disadvantage. Well, the show went low ratings. People lost interest. They thought it wasn't so good anymore. It's going to win if you don't leave before it gets that chance. If I stay out on that stage in front of an audience, I'm not a big fan of the long set in comedy. Guys like to go on, like to do an hour and 45 minutes. The audience will win if you stay out there too long. They will win. They will go, you know what? A lot of this stuff's kind of the same. I'm getting tired of the sound of this guy's voice. I didn't really want to be here this long. They're going to win. So I want to go out. I want to get you down. I want to beat the snot out of you and get out of there before you realize that I beat the odds, which is one person beat 2,000 people. That's you're at a disadvantage. So you can't, so it's very martial, the experience.
Thank you. Yeah.